I would like to show you something not only about the monitoring, but also in the AI, but also how it works out within the models. I'm not working alone. I'm presenting it with Anton van der Meer, PhD candidate here. Teun van Woerkom, also PhD, helped on this case together with the water from Hollands Noorderkwartier. We are Applied Knowledge Institute as Deltaris, and our goal is to use those models in practice and bring such of knowledge into the field. First of all, because it's about DigiTwin, where everything comes together, and finally how to prove proven dike strength. I will say something about what is a digital twin. Previous year we also had a hackathon on digital twins for levees and subsoils. But I will say something more about that and the role of monitoring and AI within the framework of digital twins. And finally, the case of Perma, where we put the monitoring of groundwater into the system, connected with the models, and what does that say to the whole dike safety. Digital twins, we can have a whole day to discuss what a digital twin is, but mainly it's about a virtual representation, a digital representation of something in the field. So like a dike in the field, we have a digital presentation here in a computer where we can not only visualize the different elements, the objects of dike, but also the behavior of the dike. What will it do in certain circumstances? Within dikes, one of the main characteristics is the uncertainties, because it's under the ground and already mentioned based on built on subsoil what has been changed and could be different everywhere in the Netherlands. And working with that uncertainty, we can use that within our models to predict what it will do as behavior. We made a kind of a framework where we would like to use the different elements to improve the digital twin, where everything comes together. We start on the beneath left side. It's about observations, monitoring, and sensoring from the dike. It could be direct data, like standpipes, the subsoil surface, but also indirect, like remote sensing. It's saying something about the dike, but it's sensing something else than exactly properties from the dike. With data science, I don't say artificial intelligence, but data science, we can combine with the expertise, come to object model. What kind of kind of object the dike could be described in several elements, and given that object model, we can combine it with our behavioral models. That could be failure mechanisms, but other mechanisms would say something about the dike. Combined with some loads, it could be hydraulic loads, but also traffic. We would like to know the behavior and also what the failure probability is, because the norm in the Netherlands is based on the failure probability. And the failure probability and the behavior, that's the information what the asset managers would like to know based on their decisions. It's a supporting system for the asset management to deal in several circumstances. Could be calamities, but also how to doing policy studies and act on different situations. But given the behavior, you can match that with the observations, match it with the monitoring, and given the matching with the behavior, we can close the circle and update the model and the system every time we have monitoring data and every time we have different shift situation outside. That's the idea of the digital twin. We made some kind of basic framework. I already told about the physical object model, where we would like to make a physical model as it is outside, with the uncertainty of like the subsoil or how the phreatic line is known. The schematization, like the behavioral models, feed it by the object model, the physical model. What will it do under certain circumstances, and the updating from the observations, from the monitoring. How can we update the model and the behavior given the observations or the monitoring or sensing what's available within time. We did that. And given that framework or that idea how to using the data outside and monitoring and updating the dikes, there is a link with the monitoring and the AI for today. One thing is we need the monitoring data because it's the input. It feeds the different models, the physics models as the behavioral models, and data science is also supporting the translation of the how you say the creation of the models based on the data which is available. But still, expert knowledge is needed because we need domain expertise to interpret the information, because just data, just data science is not enough. You must know what the models are telling you, or the outcomes from the data science is telling you. And you also need some creativity, what you can do with tooling and the data itself. To close the loop, you also need the monitoring to compare the monitoring data, the observations with the behavior, what you are calculating with the behavioral models, the failure mechanism models. And finally, AI can also be maybe in the future something to support the decision making if we have the whole loop together. So first of all, we have to fill in all the different aspects. So it's work to update the system within time, and the model itself can be used for decision support. And if it's good enough, you can also apply AI to do the next level. How does it apply in fields? Previously, we made a pilot within Hollands Noorderkwartier at the Permer, where we updated or using data to do the subsoil modeling. It's similar with how we do it regularly in the Netherlands to model the subsoil using boreholes and CPTs. In this case, we also use EM measurements, electromagnetic measurements, to have a continuous spatial schematic modeling of the subsoil. In other projects, we also use INSAR to do the subsoil modeling. In this case, we didn't do so. All those data, we use data fusion to combine it. Data fusion is quite simple, in this case, quite simple tooling like machine learning to combine the information. The results you can see in the pictures beneath and on the right side. That gives the subsoil model, And given the fact it's all within the machine learning algorithms, you can add new boreholes and CPTs and remake or upgrade your subsoil modeling. That's quite automatic. But of course, an expert has to check if the subsoil modeling is still valid. That's one part of the circle. And then you can do the modeling from the object modeling, the subsoil modeling, to the behavioral modeling. In this case, we look at squeezing and stability. We make slices and feed our stability calculations within the stability to do calculations in certain circumstances. But given the fact we can use new CPTs where our interest lays based on the calculations, we can add new boreholes, new CPTs. It will form a new subsoil model or update, refine the subsoil model, and we can redo the calculations. It's just the left part of the circle. And then the case from the permer. In the case of permer, we try to do the whole circle. With the example before, it's just the left side. We do the subsoil modeling with the CPT and boreholes, and then we added new boreholes and CPTs and updated the subsoil modeling. In this case, we would like to also have a situation where we update the right side of the circle, also update the behavioral model. In general, we are able to use groundwater modeling to give the actual stability factor. That's not very difficult, given a certain groundwater level at a certain moment. You can calculate the stability factor on a certain moment. But now the challenge is within this case to update the probability of failure given the groundwater modeling. So it's kind of updating the probability of failure by looking at, situations in the past of high water levels, of high extreme situations in the past. Therefore, we use PASTAS, also a known program, to forecast and hintcast the groundwater levels within the dike, the phreatic line within the dike. And we use also the known d-stability to calculate the stability, and probabilistic toolkit to do the probabilistic calculations to go from stability to the probability of failure of stability. So those are all known programs, but all combined to fill in the circle and come to a system which can update each with the given groundwater modeling. You got more over time. You got more groundwater information, and then you also get more information about your stability and your probability of failure. First, this real-time stability. The visualization is from the XKV dashboard, but within this earlier pilot, we use the groundwater, in fact standpipes to monitoring the groundwater, the phreatic level within the dike. Given the groundwater within the dike, the phreatic line, we can calculate the actual stability. And it gives some, at certain moments, a certain stability factor. This gives, on the right side, over time, the stability factor over time. And you also see some missing data, but that's the way how it's monitored. But this is quite straightforward. In the next step, we use the same time series, the same standpipes and the time series in the standpipes to do analysis with pastas, which does geohydraulic analysis. The input is not only the information from the standpipes for the groundwater, but also the precipitations, mainly rain, and in the evaporation. Evaporation is not changing very much, but it's also input for this analysis. And the output is a best fit for the standpipes, or for the groundwater level, sorry, within the dike for several points within the dike. And within these several points, you can reconstruct a phreatic line. On the figure, it shows some examples with the observations, the monitoring data, and the fit which pastas gives within the straight line, and some reliability area. And yeah, if you see, it's quite good. With the same, you can also do some forecast and hintcast. So based on the correlation or the relation within pastas, you can also use past rainfall information, evaporation information to predict or to describe the groundwater level in the past. Also, some extreme situations in the past can be calculated or recalculated what the groundwater would be in the past, and also what the stability factor in that situation could be. Here you see some calculations. We try first to see how good the pasta is doing with the observed data, and we find out there needs some fit within it. So you see that the structure or the form is the same, but it has some, let's say, it's lower than the original line. So we have to fit the line within to get to the correct point within the analysis to do the pasta, or to use pasta to get the data, the correct groundwater data. So the idea is we have long time geometrical data. We have a short span of time where we have the water measures in the standpipes, and we have some generated groundwater levels by pasta, even outside the measured monitoring data. And in the past, there might be some extreme situations where we can know the dike have survived it. And we can also, it's forecast, but in fact nearcast. There's also some weather expectations for the coming 72 hours, where you also can generate or determine the groundwater levels within with pastas, and therefore predict the stability in the future, in the near future. Now, given some extreme situations in the past, you can use probability updating and sharpen the probability failure of the levee. that's the idea of the updating. This is not in the. This is another, not really a dashboard. It's just a website to show the results. In the Permer, we calculated the northern part of the levee, the dike. And this is the data we use for the pasta training set. The dotted data, that's generated with pasta. And the lines on the right side, those are the measurement data. So only a very small time series was available, and the past data has been generated from the pasta tooling. And if you zoom in on the right side, we also fill in the gaps, which are within the time period we did the monitoring measurements. So at some points, some monitoring locations, some standpipes didn't give the data, but with pastas you can also generate the data between it, given the meteo data. And then you can also calculate the stability given the groundwater, the phreatic line, in the past and in the future, and determine the probability in the past, or calculate the probability given some return period. That's what we did. I don't know if it could be seen. A 10-year return period, 100-year and 1,000-year. The dike itself is as a norm on 100-year. In this case, we calculated for 1,000-year to give an idea what the probability is. But the dike in this case, given the probability, was good enough, so the updating wasn't really working. But the idea of having the monitoring data given the groundwater and to be able to do forecast and hindcast makes it possible to recalculate the stability and the probability of failure in the past and do the probability updating. That's the idea. The concept, all those elements works in this case, but it didn't really work out because the dike was already strong enough and has a small probability of failure given the norm it has. So some conclusions from the case. Real-time stability given groundwater monitoring is already available. It could be applied in operational systems. We try to do more with the data, using pastas to get some hindcast and do some forecasting. It looks like it gives nice results. It's also possible to do some updating. In this case, it doesn't work, but the elements does work within the case. And each element, what I showed before in this case, are known tooling, are known data science algorithms, but you can also replace it with a new one, better one. Maybe in the future, half year later, there will be better algorithms, and you might be able to add such algorithm and do a better forecast and to upgrade this whole system. The idea is the models within a digital twin, they keep the same, but the different tooling algorithms are updated every time. And that's the way how you can get a better insight into your dikes. And even if you have monitoring data, you can also accomplish the loop and get better insight with new data. That's it. That's the idea of the